Dentists, hello and welcome. My name is Sarah from Med Media, and today we're going to be talking about how dentists can not only generate more patients, but actually turn that marketing into predictable growth. So, a lot of what we're going to be covering today will be practical and it'll give you a lot of valuable information regarding strategies that you can use whether or not you choose to work with us. But towards the end, I'll also, of course, share how our agency takes all of this off your plate so you can focus completely on patient care. So let's talk about why this is so important today. We are seeing DSOs, large corporate backed dental groups, expand aggressively. They have deep marketing budgets, investor support, and full teams dedicated solely to advertising and patient acquisition. Meanwhile, private practices are under mounting pressure. There's rising staff salaries, increasing supply costs, and shrinking insurance reimbursements, which really makes running an independent practice more challenging than it ever has been before. And the reality is, patients now make decisions digitally. They're evaluating your reviews, your website, and your advertisements before they even pick up the phone, which is why building a strong digital first impression really isn't an option anymore. It's the difference between standing out in your community or just really being overlooked. So it's important to really think about how patients actually choose their providers. So they firstly see that ad or post online and they immediately look you up and then they compare you to about two to three other clinics. And in just a few minutes, they make that decision about who they trust most. It's really a quick journey, but every single step matters. If your ad is strong, but your reviews are weak, you're going to lose them. If your website looks great and no one follows up after they click, you're just going to lose them. It doesn't take much for a patient to move on, which is why every touch point needs to work together. So here's why many practice owners get frustrated with marketing. The thing is, agencies often run generic ads that look the same as everyone else's. They hand you vanity metrics like clicks, likes, or impressions, but none of that really pays the bills if no one's going to show up in your chair, of course. And on top of that, many agencies charge sky high retainers or lock you into long contracts without delivering the actual results. And it's not that marketing doesn't work, it's that it's usually being done in a way that prioritizes surface level activity instead of patient conversions. So, one of the simplest and most powerful tools available is completely free, and that is the Meta Ad Library. This tool lets you see exactly what ads your competitors are running at this very moment. So, down here, what you can do is enter your region, the United States, the ad category. So, usually you just select all ads, and then you can enter in that specific practice or clinic or industry that you'd like to search up and see what ads they're running. And from that, you can analyze their offers, their creative, and even their messaging. So, this doesn't mean copying what others are doing, but it means studying the landscape so you can identify the gaps and position yourself in a way that stands out. When you understand the competitive landscape, you can build smarter, higher converting campaigns from the very start. Let's break down the difference between an ad that patients scroll right past and one that actually fills the chairs. So, a weak ad is blurry, generic, and forgettable, while an elite ad has a strong hook in the first few seconds. So, it speaks directly to the patient's needs, whether that's confidence, relief from pain, or a deal. So, $2,000 off Invisalign that's very eye catching and transparent about pricing. So, patients don't feel misled, and it's always closes with a clear call to action. So book now, spots are limited. Patients feel like they may miss the deal if they wait too long. So patient video testimonials are also extremely valuable as patients feel connected to someone who received treatment that they are also seeking. So this combination of clarity, quality, and emotional appeal is really what separates wasted ad spend from booked appointments. So here's the truth most agencies don't talk about, and that is that ads are only step one. So what happens after a patient clicks is where most campaigns usually fall apart. If no one is qualifying the leads, scheduling them quickly, or sending reminders, then most of your ad spend is then wasted. So ads might get attention, but execution is what actually gets patients in your chair. So without strong execution, marketing is just noise and practices end up spending more for less. Another frustration we hear all the time is pricing. So many agencies hide fees, lock practices into contracts, or charge so much that ROI is nearly impossible. Our belief is the opposite. Marketing should be transparent, fair, and make sense compared to what a patient is worth to your practice. When the numbers are aligned, you can see exactly how every dollar of marketing translates into revenue and growth. So let me touch on something that matters just as much as ad performance really quick, and that is partnerships. So marketing only works when you can reach your team, of course, get straight answers, and make adjustments fast. So our team is US based and genuinely available. You're never waiting days for a reply while opportunities pass by. When results come in, we review them with you and pivot quickly so campaigns keep improving instead of stalling. And we never hand you a cookie cutter plan. So every market is different, every practice is different, and your patients are different. So your strategy should reflect that. Think of this as an ongoing collaboration. You focus on clinical excellence, and we stay close to the numbers and the narrative. So together, we can keep your calendar looking healthy. So let's look at an example from industry data real quick. So a campaign with just 1,200 and ad spend generated around 30 leads, and from those, 7 implant cases were booked, which averaged out to be around 3,000 each. Now, single implants usually cost a little bit more than this, so this is not necessarily completely accurate, but that means that the practice collected around 21K in revenue from a $1,200 investment. So that's a 17.5x return on ad spend, and of course, results vary, but the point is clear, and that is that when marketing is structured correctly, just a handful of high value treatments can cover your ad spend many times over. So, how do we tie all of this together? At Med Media Agency, we don't just run ads, we manage the entire process completely done for you. That means that we handle competitor research, create high performing campaigns, qualify leads, secure a card on file to protect against no shows, and schedule appointments directly into your calendar. So, by the time a patient sits in your chair, everything else has already been done. There's no wasted spend, no staff burnout, and no gaps in the process. What sets us apart is pretty simple, and that is elite ads backed by competitor insights, done for you, lead handling, transparent pricing, and human support. So, to recap, today we covered the state of competition, how patients make decisions, the difference between weak and elite ads, why execution matters, and how transparency builds trust. So, if you're ready to take patient growth off your plate and let a team handle it for you, from start to finish, that's what we do here. We don't just promise smarter patient reach, we really deliver it. So, guys, thank you for your time today. I hope you're walking away with clear strategies to strengthen your practice. If you'd like to see what this could look like for you, click the link below to connect with us, and we'll talk soon.